G'day and welcome back to another video. Slightly different video this week. If you haven't seen my last video, go and watch that now. I'll put a link in here, but that sort of slightly touches on what I'm hoping to do in this video here. So last episode got a couple pigs down in the river there on one of the blocks that I hunt. Seen a lot of sign in there, and a lot of those pigs were really good pigs, but I wasn't able to catch them. So sort of got the cogs turning and sort of ways to think of how I can more consistently catch better pigs. So I've gone to the drawing board, found a bit of advice from some other pig hunters as well on what they're doing, and a lot of them came back to me and said to run a grain mix. So I've gone to the local stock shop, got some mixed grain, bit of corn, bit of molasses and some beers there just to help the fermenting process. So I'll put that all into a 10-litre bucket with a bit of water over the top of it. So yeah, that's all going to ferment really quickly for me. And towards the end of the week, I'll take this back out to the block and set up a couple of trail cams, and hopefully we can work out a bit of a pattern on when these pigs are coming in and feeding. So yeah, I'll get this grain mix going now, and then I'll see you in the paddock. So I'll just start by putting this grain mix in first. It doesn't have it labelled how much I've got here, but whatever $10 worth gets you. I don't know, it might be around 3 to 4 kilo, I'd guess. I'd say maybe 5. I'm just going to dump that whole lot in the bucket here. That's that in there. And I'm only going to go about half of this corn in this mix, so I've got enough there for 2 mixes here, hopefully. Might be a little bit under. Then a bit of molasses here. You only really need to use about 2 cups worth, so that's about what I'll use there. And then before you add your water, just get these couple of old beers, and all that's going to do is help all this grain and corn just ferment a lot quicker, so we can get this mix out a bit earlier before the weekend. Righto, so I've just finished adding the water to this grain mix. You just want to consistently keep about 10 to 20 mil worth of water over the top of all of that grain, so that's going to soak it up really quickly. Probably in the next half an hour there'll be no water on top of that. That'll just soak it all up. So I'll keep an eye on that for the rest of this arbo, give that at least a day or two, and then we'll get that into the paddock and I'll see you there. The day's finally come. It's been probably 3 days I think since I've made up this grain mix, and finally had the chance to come back out here. So got our grain mix, couple trail cams, 308 for a bit of safety. We're going to that mango tree, and I'm going to put the other one in the river as well. So bloody windy, you can probably hear it through the mic. So I'm going to go for a bit of a walk as well and see what's around. But yeah, for now we'll just go down to the tree and make sure this trail cam's working out, should be, and then yeah, we'll go from there. So I've got the trail cam set up in that vine there. I can't work out how to take a video on it, so we're just going to have to live with photo mode. Got our grain mix, 10-litre bucket. So I'll sit this down here. Just going to tip that here. Yummo. So So I'll pluck a few of these mangoes as well, chuck them in and around it, make a bit of a cocktail for them, and yeah, hopefully we can get a good one on that trail cam. Righto, so I've got my second trail cam set up here, just on that tree there. I'll obviously shut that before I go, but I've flogged some mangoes from that mango tree, put them in a pile there with that trail cam on it, and then there's some pads up here that seen more traffic than bloody Bruce Highway, so I reckon it's a pretty good spot to have pigs coming up towards that dam and that mango tree from here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that setup. Got the wind. The wind's always really good in this section of river, so I'm just going to go for a little walk. Can't really help myself. I'm just going to go for a little walk up here. I've got about 3 days, I think, until I'll be able to get out here next, so I'm not too worried. If I do shoot one, I reckon it'll pretty well reset by the time I come back out here. So I'll go for a little bit of a walk. I didn't have Kev with me, unfortunately. I couldn't bring him out today, so just going to go for a walk with a 308 and yeah, see what I can find. So I'll take his with me and see what we can do. So I've just found a little mob here. Hopefully you can hear me. It's just a sow and a little boar in with them, so I'm not going to shoot those. Might try and sneak up and get some better footage, but they're not really worth shooting and ruining my whole plan. So yeah, I'll try sneak up and get some good footage, and if there's a better pig up a bit further, I'll shoot him. But they sort of just startled, so they won't go too far, I wouldn't think, so go and have a look. Righto, so it's been 3 days since I ran that grain out and set up those trail cams. I got Mags out with me today, and we're just gonna we just decided we'd check these SD cards, and all these photos here are pigs that have come through over the last couple nights. So heaps to unpack here. I think this video is getting on a little bit without having caught any pigs yet, so I'm gonna take this home, properly document which pig come in at what times, and then maybe I can unpack that quickly with you guys before we go out and actually target which pig we want to catch, and the reasons why. But there's an absolute stonker in there as well. It'd have to be well over a ton just come in having a look at the mangoes, but didn't eat any. So we're gonna go back into the creek there, set up those trail cams again. I've got another mix of grain there ready to go, so I'll get that out, and then Mags and I might do another little walk in that river and just see if that big pig's laid up in there. We'll have the same sort of morals. If there's no real big pig, we won't shoot it. We'll just wait and see what comes in on the trail cam. But yeah, bloody excited to see that much sign and footage on these trail cams. I'm bloody stoked. So I'll get all this stuff home, yeah, get a bit of a structure on what pigs are doing what, and then yeah, we'll work everything out from there. So hang tight, we'll catch a pig soon. yeah, stick with me. This is bloody exciting stuff, so I'll see you soon. Righto, so finally home to have a look at all that footage, and as you can see here, nice little boars come into the gully there, checking out those mangoes. He was there for about 15 minutes, I think, and then he ducked off, and you can see him back here in the footage. He's pretty wary. He floated off pretty quickly without spending much time there at all. So it was interesting to see that, and I actually ended up catching this pig later on in the video, so hang around and see that. But yeah, he was religiously coming into those mangoes about 5:45. I ended up working out, so yeah, it was good to get the better of him. But as you go on into the footage, you see this massive pig that's come in. Would have to be well over the tonne mark. Really quality pig. Unfortunately, this pig never came back onto the trail cam, so yeah, a bit unfortunate there. We missed a good pig there, but yeah, as you can see, there's plenty of mob stuff that come through underneath that tree. Just checking that grain out to start with, not eating a whole lot of it. I found the first night after putting the grain underneath that tree that they would just sort of inspect it the first night without eating a whole lot, and then coming back the next afternoon and really having a feed on it. So here's that pig again. I ended up catching the next night after this photo was taken. So yeah, it was pretty cool to put together 2 or 3 days of footage of consistent times where this boar was coming down and having a feed, and being able to put together a bit of a plan to be able to catch him. And lucky enough for me, it worked pretty quick. So I'll roll that footage on now. Sorry, I was a bit tucked up in the tree when I took this shot, so I apologise for that. But yeah, enjoy this. It was pretty good to get him out of the way early, so enjoy. Holy, knocked me hat off that shot, but yeah, I had to put the time in for him. Bloody hell, he's a good pig. We'll go and check him out. Finally, I think I'm about 10 minutes into this video already, and I've just got my first pig, so it's one of the better ones. I'll give you a good look at him. He's one of those better fellas that have been coming down. I've had about 15 pigs come in on the trail cam just here, eating that grain mix I've been leaving for him, but he's been around pretty well from the first day. He started on that first trail cam at 5:45 in the arvo, went missing for a little bit. The next day he's come back up to this mango tree here, same time, 5:45, and he come back the night after that, same time, and he was here until midnight, and he pretty well polished all of that grain off. So I knew he was running the same sort of sequence every single night, so I camped out. I left Kevin the ute, and he's been yelling at me since I've left him in there. So yeah, poor bloke's missed out here, but yeah, I've just camped up in that tree, expecting him to come down. He was actually 15 minutes late for the little dinner date that we had planned, but yeah, that's what happens when you run late and you don't let anyone know. So It was bloody hard for me to see him through the scope. It's starting to get dark here now, so yeah, nailed him, and yeah, pretty happy with him. There's 2 deadies out here at the moment as well, so I was gonna pepper this section of river tonight and walk heavy through a couple of times, but letting that shot go, I reckon that's gonna slow everything down here tonight. So I'm gonna leave it for now for tonight. I might push on to those deadies for the last little bit of tonight, and then I'll probably go home, I reckon, and leave it for the weekend. So he's a good pig. Happy I got the better of him. So yeah, good set too. So bloody happy days. We'll go and see Kev and see what advice he's got for me. Well, that's where I'll finish this episode, guys. So thanks for watching if you made it this far. Make sure you check in next week around lunchtime on Sunday, where I'll post the footage of my recent New South Wales trip, hunting a bit of crop country and some cattle country. We caught some cracking pigs on that trip, so make sure you tune in to check that one out. Cheers.